Did the Boston Celtics, a franchise steeped in championship lore, truly just orchestrate one of the most baffling, self-inflicted wounds in recent memory? Are we, the loyal fans and bewildered observers, expected to simply nod along as they dismantle a critical piece of their championship puzzle? All in the name of what exactly? Because if you ask me, the echoes of regret are going to reverberate through TD Garden from opening night, a chilling reminder of a decision that feels less like strategy and more like an act of pure, unadulterated self-sabotage. Welcome back to a special report where we dissect the moves that shake the very foundations of the NBA landscape. Today, we're not just talking about a trade, we're talking about a seismic shift, a gamble that, in my estimation, is poised to backfire with spectacular, immediate consequences. We're talking about the Boston Celtics and their decision to part ways with Kristaps Porzingis, a move that, even before the first tip-off of the new season, feels like a catastrophic miscalculation. Forget buyer's remorse. The Celtics are about to experience sellers' regret on an unprecedented scale, and it's going to sting. Badly. The rationale, we're told, was to curtail spending to navigate the intricate and often punitive luxury tax implications of the NBA's collective bargaining agreement. But at what cost? Because what the Celtics have done in their pursuit of financial prudence is create a gaping, unfillable void at the most crucial position on the court, the center. This isn't just about losing a player. It's about gutting an entire positional group, leaving a skeletal framework where a robust foundation once stood. Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, and Luke Kornet, Boston's top three centers from last season, all gone. Poof, vanished into the off-season ether, leaving behind a vacuum that their current replacements are simply not equipped to fill. Let's be brutally honest about the current state of the Celtics frontcourt. They've brought in Chris Boucher and Luka Garza. Now, with all due respect to these athletes, these are career backups, players who struggled to even crack significant minutes last season on their previous teams. These aren't the answers to a championship contender's prayers. They're stopgap measures, emergency options, not the pillars upon which you build a dominant interior presence. This isn't merely a downgrade. It's a precipitous drop-off, a gamble that could swiftly transform this critical position into an absolute nightmare scenario. And when that nightmare inevitably unfolds, when the Celtics find themselves getting consistently out-rebounded, out-muscled, and outscored in the paint, every single fan in Boston will be wishing, praying that Kristaps Porzingis was still wearing green. Because let's not forget what the unicorn brought to the table. Yes, the narrative always circles back to his injury history. Last season's mysterious illness was, without a doubt, frustrating for everyone involved, and it certainly played a role in derailing Boston's deepest playoff aspirations. But when healthy, Porzingis remains an elite, game-changing talent. Last season, he averaged 19.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks in just 28.8 minutes per game during the regular season. Let those numbers sink in. Nearly 20 points, almost 7 boards, and a block and a half in less than 30 minutes of action. His unique skill set, a rare blend of perimeter shooting, post-up scoring, and legitimate rim protection, is virtually impossible to stop when he's on his game. He stretched defenses, created space for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and provided a defensive anchor that, while sometimes inconsistent due to health, was undeniably impactful. Now imagine that. The Celtics have lost their top three centers, and their efforts to replace them have been, to put it mildly, minimal. Neemias Queta, a player who saw a grand total of 863 minutes last season, a figure Jason Tatum could rack up in about 24 healthy games, is now their most experienced option. While Queta has shown flashes in limited opportunities, averaging 12.9 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks per 36 minutes last season, those are per 36 numbers a statistical projection, not a guarantee of sustained performance in a starting role. The leap from a sporadic backup to a consistent 30-plus minute starter on a championship contending team is a chasm, not a step. If Queta struggles to translate those strong per 36 numbers into a larger role, this entire strategy, will look even more disastrous. A significant part of the Celtics' recent success, their ability to contend year after year, was having a trusted big man capable of spacing the floor on offense and protecting the rim on defense. That dual threat, that crucial balance, is now gone. Boucher and Garza might be able to knock down the occasional three-pointer, but their shot blocking and interior defense are simply not at the level required for a top-tier contender. Quetta might offer some defensive upside, but he's missed all 3 of his career three-point attempts, indicating he won't be stretching the floor anytime soon. Coach Joe Mazzulla is going to have to conjure magic, but the reality is none of the Celtics' current center options should be playing 30-plus minutes every single night if they harbor genuine championship aspirations. The talent simply isn't there. And let's not even entertain the notion of going small as a viable long-term solution. The Celtics simply don't have the personnel to effectively deploy small ball lineups consistently. Josh Minott or Jordan Walsh, while promising young players, would be their top options as a small ball 5. These lineups would be absolutely annihilated on the glass, surrendering countless second-chance points, and would likely lack the offensive juice to overcome their glaring defensive deficiencies. This isn't the Golden State Warriors with Draymond Green at center. This is a team trying to fit square pegs into round holes, hoping against hope that Sheer can overcome fundamental roster imbalances. The irony, the bitter pill for Celtics fans to swallow, is that Porzingis, despite his injury history, is still expected to be highly productive. When healthy, expect him to average 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks. Celtics fans saw him play a key role in their title run, even if he did deal with postseason injuries. He was a difference maker, a unique weapon that opposing teams struggled to contain. And now he's gone. The sting will only intensify as Boston supporters watch from afar, missing KP as the Celtics fight tooth and nail just for a playoff berth, potentially with their best players sidelined due to the sheer lack of depth and talent around him. And what did the Celtics receive in exchange for this invaluable talent? Georges Niang, a 2031 second-round draft pick, and a bit of cash. Georges Niang has already been flipped, underscoring the stark reality that this was strictly, unequivocally, a deal about saving money. It was a financial maneuver, not a basketball one. And that, my friends, is why the Boston Celtics will regret this choice when they miss the playoffs for the first time since 2014. The sting will be agonizing, a deep, festering wound that will only hurt worse if, as many predict, Kristaps Porzingis helps the Atlanta Hawks soar to a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, finally making some real noise in the postseason. Imagine the headlines, the what-ifs, the sheer frustration of watching a former Celtic thrive elsewhere, directly benefiting a conference rival, while Boston struggles to find its footing. The Boston Celtics chose this path, a path dictated by the cold, hard calculus of a salary cap, rather than the burning desire for on-court dominance. And fans, understandably, do not like it. Losing talent because of an NBA rule of financial constraint feels fundamentally wrong when the goal is to win championships. Kristaps Porzingis will, without a shadow of a doubt, help make the franchise regret letting him go. Expect monster numbers, a healthy playoff run as the Hawks finally make noise, and a constant reminder of what Boston willingly gave up. This one was sure to backfire from the start, a predictable outcome for anyone willing to look beyond the spreadsheet. All fans can do now is accept this harsh reality and try to move on. The Celtics will eventually build another title contender around Jason Tatum, that much is certain. But it may take far longer to get there and involve far more pain than it ever should have. This is the harsh, unforgiving reality of the current NBA, where financial decisions can have devastating on-court consequences. So, what do you think, basketball fanatics? Am I being too harsh, or is this Porzingis trade truly a disaster in the making for the Boston Celtics? Will they live to regret this decision, or do you see a path to success despite the gaping hole at center? Let your voices be heard in the comments below. And if this deep dive into the Celtics' controversial move has got your gears turning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more unvarnished truth and passionate analysis of the NBA's biggest stories.